Our planet is at a crossroads. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, it is our daily reality. The year 2024 has brought this reality into sharp focus. We are witnessing more extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and disruptions to ecosystems worldwide. The urgency to act has never been greater. The scientific consensus is clear. Human activities are the primary driver of this change. We are altering the delicate balance of our atmosphere, leading to unpredictable and often devastating consequences. But there is still hope. The choices we make today will determine the future of our planet. We have the power to mitigate the worst impacts of climate change and build a more sustainable future. It requires a collective effort from individuals to governments to make a real difference. Across the globe, thermometers are telling a worrying story. The Earth's average temperature is steadily climbing. This increase is directly linked to the increased concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, primarily from burning fossil fuels. The consequences of this warming trend are far-reaching. We are experiencing hotter summers and milder winters in many parts of the world. This shift disrupts natural cycles, impacts agriculture, and increases the risk of heat waves and wildfires. The polar regions, particularly the Arctic, are warming at an alarming rate. This melting ice contributes to rising sea levels, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems. The warming trend also disrupts ocean currents, which play a vital role in regulating global climate patterns. These changes have cascading effects on marine life and weather systems worldwide. The impacts of climate change are being felt in every corner of the globe, albeit unevenly. Some regions are experiencing more frequent and intense droughts, leading to water scarcity, crop failures, and social unrest. Others are facing the opposite: increased rainfall and flooding, damaging infrastructure, displacing communities, and spreading waterborne diseases. Small island nations are grappling with the existential threat of rising sea levels as their land disappears beneath the waves. Coastal communities worldwide face similar challenges, with erosion, flooding, and saltwater intrusion threatening their homes and livelihoods. The natural world is also feeling the pressure. Coral reefs, vital ecosystems that support a vast array of marine life, are bleaching and dying due to warmer ocean temperatures. Forests, crucial carbon sinks that help regulate our climate, are increasingly vulnerable to wildfires and disease outbreaks. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. Human activities are the dominant cause of climate change. The burning of fossil fuels for energy, transportation, and industry releases vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Deforestation, driven by agriculture and logging, further exacerbates the problem by removing trees that absorb carbon dioxide. Our insatiable appetite for resources and consumption patterns contribute to the problem. From the food we eat to the products we buy, our choices have environmental impacts that ripple across the globe. The good news is that we have the power to change course. By transitioning to cleaner energy sources, adopting sustainable practices, and making conscious consumption choices, we can reduce our impact and create a more sustainable future. It requires a collective effort, a shift in mindset from individuals, businesses, and governments alike. We must act now with urgency and determination to protect the planet we call home. Section 5. A future in peril. The cost of inaction. Failing to address climate change will have dire consequences for humanity and the planet. The scientific community has painted a stark picture of the future if we continue on our current trajectory. Extreme weather events will become more frequent and severe, leading to widespread damage, displacement, and loss of life. Rising sea levels will inundate coastal cities, displacing millions and causing trillions of dollars in economic damage. Food security will be threatened as droughts, floods, and changing weather patterns disrupt agricultural production. Mass extinctions of plant and animal species will become increasingly common, disrupting ecosystems and diminishing the planet's biodiversity. The human cost will be immeasurable. Climate change will exacerbate existing inequalities, leading to conflicts over resources, mass migrations, and social unrest. The time to act is now. Delaying action will only make the problem more challenging and costly to address in the future. Section 6. Turning the tide actions for a sustainable future. Despite the challenges, there is still hope. We have the knowledge, the tools, and the resources to combat climate change and create a more sustainable future. The transition to a low-carbon economy is paramount. We must rapidly reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and embrace renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal. Governments play a crucial role in this transition by implementing policies that incentivize clean energy, promote energy efficiency, and invest in sustainable infrastructure. Individuals can also make a difference by reducing their carbon footprint through simple actions like using public transport, cycling, walking, and choosing energy-efficient appliances. Investing in sustainable agriculture practices is crucial. By adopting climate-smart farming techniques, reducing food waste, and promoting plant-based diets, we can minimize the environmental impact of our food systems. Section 7, Power in Numbers, Collective Action for Climate Justice. Addressing climate change is not just an environmental issue, it is a social justice issue. The impacts of climate change disproportionately affect the most vulnerable communities around the world, often those who have contributed the least to the problem. Achieving climate justice requires a collective effort that recognizes these disparities and empowers marginalized communities to participate in the solutions. This means ensuring access to clean energy, sustainable infrastructure, and resources for adaptation. It also means amplifying the voices of those most affected by climate change and supporting their leadership in the fight for a just and equitable transition. International cooperation is essential. Climate change knows no borders, and addressing this global challenge requires coordinated action from all nations. Developed countries have a moral obligation to support developing nations in their efforts to mitigate and adapt to climate change, both financially and technologically. Section 8, Leading the Charge: Success Stories of Climate Action. Despite the challenges, there are inspiring examples of climate action happening around the world. Many cities and countries are leading the way in transitioning to renewable energy, implementing sustainable transport systems, and reducing their carbon footprint. Costa Rica, for instance, has become a global leader in renewable energy, powering its grid almost entirely from hydro, geothermal, and wind power. Denmark has made significant strides in wind energy, with wind turbines now supplying a significant portion of the country's electricity. Cities like Copenhagen are becoming models of sustainable urban planning, prioritizing cycling, public transport, and green spaces. These success stories demonstrate that a transition to a more sustainable future is possible. They provide a roadmap for others to follow and offer a glimmer of hope in the face of a daunting challenge. Section 9. Every choice counts: sustainable living for a healthier planet. Each of us has a role to play in combating climate change. Our individual actions, when multiplied by millions, can create a ripple effect of positive change. Simple changes to our daily habits can make a difference. Choosing sustainable transportation options like walking, cycling, or public transport over driving reduces carbon emissions. Opting for energy-efficient appliances, reducing energy consumption at home, and supporting renewable energy sources all contribute to a cleaner energy future. Our food choices also matter. Reducing meat consumption, particularly red meat, and choosing locally sourced produce minimizes the environmental impact of our diets. Supporting businesses and organizations committed to sustainability sends a powerful message to the market that consumers demand eco-friendly practices. Section 10. Knowledge is power. Stay informed and engaged. Staying informed about climate change is crucial. Educate yourself about the science, the impacts, and the solutions. Read books, watch documentaries, and follow reputable sources of information. Engage in meaningful conversations about climate change with family, friends, and colleagues. Share your knowledge and encourage others to take action. Support organizations and initiatives working to address climate change. Vote for leaders who prioritize climate action and hold them accountable for their promises. Our collective voice is powerful. By speaking up and demanding change, we can create a groundswell of support for a sustainable future. Remember, climate change is not someone else's problem. It is a collective challenge that requires a collective response. Section 11. Our planet, our responsibility, a call to action. The time for complacency is over. The future of our planet hangs in the balance, and the responsibility to act rests on our shoulders. We must move beyond awareness to action. Let us embrace the challenge of combating climate change with the same ingenuity and determination that has defined humanity throughout history. Support sustainable practices, advocate for change, and inspire those around you to join the movement for a healthier planet. Subscribe to our channel to stay informed about the latest developments in climate science and solutions. Share this message with your network and help us amplify the call for action. Together we can create a future where both humanity and nature can thrive. The time is now. Our planet is counting on us.